Hello, everyone. Transportation is always changing, but two big companies are about to change the future. Today, we're going to talk about an interesting topic that has shocked both the car and ride sharing industries. We're seeing the coming together of some very innovative technologies which could change the way we move around towns. Imagine a future where Tesla's electric fleet works perfectly with Uber's app, giving users not only a ride but also an experience that fits with a green and tech forward way of life. Hold on tight, because we're about to start a thought-provoking look at Tesla's possible partnerships with Uber, aided by the wise counsel of the Gary Black. But first, make sure to click like and subscribe. This is news about Tesla stock. Let's begin the movie. Imagine a world without clear lines between things, where innovative partnerships drive progress and the wheels of change turn toward a new future of mobility and the grand symphony of cooperation. Tesla is putting on a visionary show by working with stars in the field, such as Waymo, Neuroserve, and even Aurora, as they move into the world of self-driving cars and delivery services. Tesla's story takes place during the autonomous revolution, which is a time when self-driving technology and human creativity work together to make music. Gary Black, the maestro of financial analysis, recently came into the spotlight with an interesting theory that could take Tesla stock to new heights. Imagine that Tesla, the electric giant, enters the ride-hailing market alongside Uber, the symbol of easy urban transportation. Gary Black thinks that Tesla should make the bold move to buy Uber, which would open a wealth chest. Lots of information from Uber's 137 million daily travelers, a gambit that looks a lot like Elon Musk's purchase of Buzz on Twitter, but with a much bigger goal in mind. Gary Black makes a strong case for why Tesla should merge with Uber. By doing so, Tesla would get access to a huge amount of data about millions of daily trips, which would help them make their self-driving cars better. There are skewed beats in this rhythm where Tesla's electric car and Uber's global pulse come together to make an exciting crescendo. But how would this acquisition play out? Black sets up a masterpiece in which Tesla doesn't just buy Uber, but also grows its essence. This evolution doesn't just make their technologies work better together, but it also grows a Brazilian ecosystem that can handle storms and dance through recessions. But people have different opinions. Paul Meeks joins the conversation to ask if Uber has reached its peak. As he looks into the crystal ball of recession and recovery, the crowd waits for him to make his statement. An industry due where Uber's varied operations from transportation to delivery add a unique tune to the big orchestral piece, and Tesla's electric cars do the same. Whisper with tales of a greener tomorrow and Uber's ride-sharing canvases, the urban tableau is at the center of a partnership that has the potential to change the course of mobility history. The world is watching Tesla, mesmerized by the beat of innovation and the dance of collaboration. Imagine a puzzle with pieces all over the place. One piece, labeled transport, stands out, promising a faster path to Tesla's future. This suggestion has been met with skepticism, but it has the potential to be Tesla's golden ticket and a game changer for the auto industry. Tesla wants to be a leader in self-driving ride-hailing services in the future. Tesla is at a crossroads. One option is to start from scratch and build an autonomous fleet, which would take a lot of time. Another is to buy an existing player to speed up its plans, which reminds me of Elon Musk's announcement at the opening of Tesla's Austin factory about plans for a dedicated robo-taxi vehicle that would turn regular cars into self-driving taxis, giving users a hands-free, incredibly cheap experience. Gary Black's insight is an idea that imagines Tesla buying Uber, which is a giant in the world of public transportation. This brave move would give Tesla access to Uber's huge amount of data, which comes from the 137 million daily journeys. Black's vision turns Tesla's self-driving taxi service into a complicated dance of ownership and use. Car owners lend their cars to the self-driving fleet when they're not using them, creating an interesting and profitable environment behind the scenes. Rises on Tesla's bold idea. The stage is set for a musical future, whether it's achieved through careful creation or risky acquisition. Tesla's progress toward a driverless future is about to speed up. Here's an interesting thought. What if you could turn your car into a robo-taxi when you're not using it? With just a few taps on an app, Your car could pick up passengers and even share rides with other people. That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? This could not only increase demand for Tesla cars, but it could also open up a world of possibilities. Here are two possible paths. The first is to start this self-driving ride-hailing service from scratch, building it all up on your own, which, as you might expect, could take a lot of time and work. The second, more practical option is to work with a big player in the ride-hailing world, like Uber, the global ride-hailing giant. Tesla could team up with Uber in an exclusive partnership, or even go all out and acquire the company. That would be quite the power move right now. Why does this partnership idea make sense? Well, for starters, as I've already mentioned before, Uber has a hopping 137 million customers worldwide. That's a huge pool of data that Tesla could tap into to make its full self-driving technology even smarter. Imagine all those rides, about 25 million of them, happening every single day. That's like having a gigantic classroom with teacher FSD system and record time. But like any bold idea, some aren't totally on board. Some folks who know their stuff about Tesla, called Tesla influencers, have raised a few concerns. One point they make is that Uber is valued in the mass of $95 billion, while Tesla's cash reserves are at around $23 billion. So they're wondering if it's worth spending all that money on Uber. Another argument they're throwing into the mix is this: remember how Tesla created its supercharger network, and then other car makers hopped on the bandwagon to use it? Well, these influencers think that other companies might also be willing to pay to use Tesla's FSD technology. Just like that, no need to go and buy Uber for that. They also bring up a comparison with Apple. You know how Apple didn't go ahead and buy Sony just because Sony had Walkman and BlackBerry because of its smartphones. So these influencers saying, why should Tesla buy Uber just because they've got a ride-hailing network? But here's where it gets interesting. Gary Black, the person who suggested the whole Tesla-Uber partnership, made a strong comeback. He said that starting Tesla's ride-hailing network and competing with Uber's 137 million customers would be a terrible idea. He also asked if other companies in Uber would be willing to pay Tesla little money to use its FSD technology. Now let's talk about money. Remember the whole Tesla doesn't have enough argument. Gary Black makes an interesting counterpoint. He thinks Tesla could use its shares instead of cashing them in to buy Uber. He also said that if Tesla tried to compete with Uber in ride-hailing, it could be a huge drain on cash for years. But here's the good news. If Tesla adds FSD technology to all 6 million Uber cars, it could bring in a ton of cash. That's right, this doesn't stop Tesla from working on its plan to make an autonomous ride-hailing platform.